risk of death and risk of humiliation. And those are like the top two human fears. So,
Yeah.
so, I mean, if you can contend with those things well, then like, I think doors open up for you, opportunities open up for you that would never be there because you never have the courage to take that path.
Right.
So for me, the shtick lately is trying to use mixed martial arts as not only a personal development tool for me, but also to show other people that it can be done and it can be done for them. And
what the hell's going on out here?
For those who aren't aware, Evan Cuts, Fitness Fight Factory, black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's your Cliff's Notes version. Give me your comic book nerd. Give me your origin story.
So like you said, comic book nerd, I always love the hero story. And I think everything from modern day comics back to all the way to legends of old, right? There's a hero story where that hero, there's a problem. That hero has to go through some development. They can overcome the problem, split the problem up, make it better, and bring that back to their group of people or their village, and life's better for everyone. So I've always been really attracted to that story. And I think about 13 or 14 years old, when you're modeling those behaviors and you want to do those behaviors, you feel like, okay, well, I got to find some place that lets me feel a little bit like a hero. And like, to me, I think I found that through martial arts. Like I started in American karate. I did that for a little while. In 2007, I transitioned more to what I would call combat sports. And that's doing like boxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. And those things are still martial arts, but because they have a sport outlet, they let you actually test yourself. And there's some things I love about the traditional martial arts. I love the yes-sirs, the no-sirs. I love the traditions. But if you're not at the right place, you don't get to pressure test yourself in a very real way. That hero story is being pressure tested and overcoming some of those obstacles. So being interested in self-defense, being interested in that hero story, to me, when I saw mixed martial arts on TV I think that was Spike TV back in 2000, 2005, 2006, being like, oh, wow, that looks very different than what we were doing at the karate dojo. I was just immediately interested in that. I mean, watching things like The Ultimate Fighter and getting to watch other people's stories and watch them overcome these situations that seemed almost insurmountable for a little 15, 16-year-old me, and watching people contend with those things and contend with them well, man, I was infatuated with the idea of self-development through mixed martial arts and combat sports, because it let me test myself in a very physical and a very primal way. I mean, when you talk about martial arts or any real contact sport that has a risk of real injury, there's that risk of death and risk of humiliation. And those are like the top two human fears. So, So, I mean, if you can contend with those things well, then like, I think doors open up for you, opportunities open up for you that would never be there because you never have the courage to take that path.
Right.
So for me, the shtick lately is trying to use mixed martial arts as not only a personal development tool for me, but also to show other people that it can be done and it can be done for them. And everyone's going to have other places that they find meaning and they find purpose and drive. But the people that can find purpose and drive and meaning when things are hard and things are difficult, and especially in a sport where you have to be the nail for like the first maybe 6 months to a year. But if you can find meaning in that and overcome that, man, like going to work or having a difficult conversation with another adult, or as a parent, whenever you're trying to commentate with your kids about other kids' actions and you have to go talk to another parent, I think it's good for us to model a behavior where you can be calm and you can go talk to that other parent and say like, hey, look, something happened here. My child feel like he feels like his feelings are hurt. And so how can we come together and treat each other better? And like, those are conversations that now I feel like parents avoid.
Yeah.
And
well, it's because it's a confrontation. It's you said a couple things, which I really like. And in all reality, I hope they stick up here. One, the pressure testing of, combat sports. Like that's, Dr. Taylor, why do you play rugby? Well, every now and then I just want to get punched in the face.
Yes.
What a weird craving to have. Fair, but here we are. And then the other thing, two things people fear is, death and humiliation. Like there's got to be a risk of injury or something like that. But in all reality, that's what winning is. Winning is like the fear of humiliation has taken me a long way, right? It absolutely has. And in some respects, I think that, that conversation with the other parent that you were just talking about, well, I don't want to go talk to them because what if they're better spoken than I am? Or what if it turns out that my kid was the asshole?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I have to be like, humiliate. Oh, sorry. I guess my kid was being a dick. There's a lot of thoughts that have gone through my head in creating this, let alone creating whatever this life is that I live. But I've never put it into those two concise statements. It really is. It's a
that making these choices was a poor choice in my life anyways. And I'm sure, if you get around the wrong people, and that doesn't matter whatever path you're on, but if you get around the wrong people, man, like, then you're just screwed.
Yeah.
But if you can get around people that are, again, making positive choices, I talk about in our kids class, we talk about champion choices a lot, but if you're around those people, then you're going to have some fucking success. Like, I was super lucky. In 2007, I met Johnny Bedford when he was fighting professionally, and he was out in LA boxing, and he was adamant that he was going to go to the UFC, and he had the idea of creating this gym and creating the program. And to me, I saw someone that I was like, okay, he's passion driven. He's doing something that gives him meaning. He has an idea for the future, and he's someone that I've stayed with since 2007. Now I own 2 gyms with him, and we're looking at expanding and doing more. And we've touched, thousands of lives of people, and there's people that are better for it. And I get so proud of what we've done. And I mean, if I had maybe been at a different program or around someone who was a little more negative minded, or someone who was just in it for like, hey, look at me and then I'm done, someone who really wasn't interested in developing people or creating opportunities, man, I would have been screwed. But again, it's about looking around you. It's about observing what's going on and not being afraid to stand up for yourself when someone tells you, well, I think otherwise. Because and you may be wrong. Believe me, there's times I've been wrong. My wife knows I'm oftentimes wrong about things. But I mean, I think there's certain things in life where you have a deep sense of meaning, or you have a deep sense of knowing. And from the evidence that you've collected, you have that deep sense of knowing and meaning. And I think those are the things you should, pursue in your life.
The word evidence was shit. I don't think there could have been a better. What kept you going? Evidence. It really, and you can't, not everyone can see your evidence. And if it does, and I think, I mean, you and I, like, as we stand here, both have some very recent road bump stories.
Yes.
Right. I mean,
like,
this place flooded 4 months ago.
Oh yeah.
You just spent the last 3 weeks moving your gym. Like, like there are, you put yourself out there and you take risks and things like that. It's just, I bought a building. You guys like doubled your square footage, tripled it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, okay, well, we're going to go back to the other place. But there are people who would have come across those road bumps and then just quit.
Yeah, let it corrupt them. And that's what I mean by it doesn't happen to the good people. Good people don't become corrupted by circumstances to become jaded and pulling other people down. I think, my son and I, we had a conversation about where evil comes from. And I said weakness, son. It's weakness of character, or it's weakness of character, mind, or body. It's something there. But that's where it comes from, because good, strong people want good, strong things for other people. Like, I want to see. And that doesn't mean that everyone in an MMA fight can't win, right? There's only going to be one winner.
There's only going to be one, yeah.
But we can still get better from it. I mean, my last fight did not go my way. I got knocked out by a guy I had previously beaten. And now I'm trying to fight him a third time, right? So
hell yeah, you are.
I want to get it back. I want to get fueled by spite,
exactly.
right?
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fueled by spite. But have I corrected things in my camp and gotten better from it? Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Anytime I stumble, I will get better and I will get back on it. And I think, again, the good people see obstacles as that. Like you guys could have been like, oh, well, it flooded and we're going to close up. We'll go to an office space here. Maybe if we have 2 little office spaces, I can make it work. No, dude, you guys stayed here. You overcome it. The office looks beautiful. I'm sure there's things that needed to get fixed up anyways, that you used it as an opportunity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. This needed to get done. Now we'll do it. So,
I mean, the place was 2 years old. It was looking kind of dated. No.
Hey, man, like being a business owner, I know there's little things that nobody else would ever notice that drive me nuts every day. I'm like, man, that piece of paint up there really needs to get fixed. And again, it's in a perfect place and no one would ever see it. But as a business owner and someone that wants to be successful, I think you're always going through your little mind of checklists of, okay, these little things got to get ticked off. So sometimes an obstacle or something that comes in the way, a bump, gives you some time to address those other things. Gives you some time. Hey, I know when I have my 30 days of no contact, man, I got a lot done around the house. I got a lot fixed. So
that's awesome.
I mean, it's just, if you're someone who is interested in moving forward, you're going to use those obstacles as opportunities. That's one of the little rules that we have for our kids at the gym.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Like, It literally, because I mean, and you're touched on so many things that, again, in the personal development or in the entrepreneurial realm, like you hear them over and over and over again. You know, you are who you associate with, right? You hang around with shit people, you're going to be a shit person. I mean, obstacles absolutely are opportunities. I had this place for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden, just it flooded, and it was kind of a wonderful little, hell, maybe it's even a fucking pressure test. Because I'm a chiropractor. I need hands and a table.
Yeah.
So dentist next door, he's still closed. Like he's not seeing patients. He's working 1 day a week, sharing office spaces around here. We were closed for 6 days, and that's because that's how long the city said you needed to have the place dry out to prevent mold. Okay, cool. So day 7, city says we can be in here, and we're right back in here.
Yeah.
Because it absolutely was like, I don't have another option. I don't have a plan B.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm creating a plan B now. Maybe the podcast is my plan B. Maybe I'll take off and I'll quit chiropractic to be the next Joe Rogan.
Hey man, you never know.
Yeah, right. Just whatever goes viral. How many times have you wanted to quit MMA? I imagine like after the first knockout, there's probably a quick flash in your head going, I don't want to do this again.
No, I'm gonna take my hat off real quick. So I got a big scar that normally I wear more proudly. Normally my hair's cut a little bit better, but yeah, I've let it grow out some recently. This is what I would consider long for myself. But no, I wear my hair short to show it off. I have a scar that runs from my right ear all the way across my head. It's my left. That's from a frontal sinus fracture. I got that doing a reality show in 2013 with Spike TV and Bellator. The name of the show was Fight Master, and they tried to copy The Ultimate Fighter. And anytime you do one of those reality show series, they only have like 5 or 6 weeks to get it done. So that means you're going to fight potentially 3 times within that 5 or 6 weeks.
Holy shit. Okay.
So yeah. So normally when we compete, like a really busy active fighter would be fighting like 4 times a year, even at the regional level, the UFC level, that'd be incredibly busy.
Yeah.
But even at the regional level, yeah, like 4, if you did 5 a year, I'm really impressed. But I fought 3 times in 21 days, and I just think the added damage from each fight eventually resulted in a frontal sinus fracture over my left eye. So I had to go get surgery where they cut me from ear all the way across my head to ear. They peeled my
your
skin
face
down.
back.
Yeah, a little bit of titanium on that side to put the bone fragments on top of, and then it took me almost 18, 19 months till my next fight. Like I had some serious recovery time after that, obviously. But yeah, man, that was a real test. That was a real test of character and making decisions and finding my meaning in fighting. And that's probably why I have some of the answers that I have. Is spend a lot of time to think, man. A lot of time thinking about what I do and the reasons behind why I do it. But no, I had that fixed up. I was back to fighting by 2014, and it's already 2023. So like I've been active as a pro for 9 years with that. And instead of letting that overcome me, man, what are you going to do? You can integrate it. You can learn some different skills. You can use it as a way to find something else. That's actually when I got involved in gym ownership. And it's funny how life works like that, because I don't think I would have been able to fight in Bellator, been a gym owner, and that's when I had my first son. So I would have not been able to do those 3 things well. And I think if I had tried to do those 3 things well, the first thing to break probably would have been pro fighting.
Yep.
So, hey man, sometimes again, those obstacles are opportunities. So he's an obstacle of hurt myself to get into the gym ownership side of things. And we're blessed to have grown. And our second location on Hazlitt is kind of where I'm at teaching with my brother. And I believe this week we broke 40 kids on the mats twice.
That's awesome, man.
Well, it would have been last week and this week. It would have been last Thursday and then this Monday. Yeah. For over 40 kids on the mat. So, I mean, we're making impacts on lives, and that's the cool thing. And I mean, we have a good size adult program too, with usually averaging around 20 people. And we have a fitness program out there, but that gym is an opportunity to be in a different community, to create some other people. And I'm hoping as we have these other young men and women that are athletes that are fighting professionally for us, when they start getting to, the halfway point or the other side of their career, that whenever they want to, own gyms and do it together, that they buy in with us and open them with us. And that's a way that everyone can, I feel like everyone gets a fair payout at the end because as a fighter, that would suck if you were a part of a team for like 5 or 6 years. And then you're like, I retire. And they're just like, okay, cool. See you later.
Thanks,
bye. You don't
for
make
your
us any
time.
money anymore. Yeah, we're done. No, I make the joke all the time to the pros. Like we're one of the only businesses you can bleed into, you can buy in, but you put together a decent pro career. You show us that you're interested in growing people. You show us that there's a certain level of trust. Then hell yeah, I want to give you some ownership in a gym.
Right.
And I mean, you as a business owner, you understand what it is to give away equity and where that goes and how big of a deal that is. So like, I'm trying to help develop people not only to be good combat sport athletes, I hope they turn into good teachers to be able to impact more people. Because I think martial arts, when done well and done right, and same thing with any combat sport or combat or contact sport, when it's done well and done right, I mean, it's one of the best personal development programs ever. But the same things we were talking about earlier, developing that courage and developing that discipline through the pressure testing.
I mean, and at the very least, gets you off your ass.
Yeah.
Like it gets you off your, like people who move a lot aren't as depressed as people who don't move a lot. The end.
Yeah. That is a very based in reality statement, man. Like, and that's, again, it's the evidence of seeing what's going on around you and what's good for you and what's not. And I definitely think you should listen to experts, but I think you should listen to all the experts with different opinions and be able to look around and observe and find your own.
You're talking about the gym, the place up in Hazlitt. I think a wonderful little segue, just kind of in closing. What gym are you talking about? Where can people find you?
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we're at Fitness Fight Factory. And Johnny Bedford, he teaches mainly at the Watauga location. He's fought for the UFC. He's fought for bare knuckle. I'm sorry, the Watauga location is now in North Twin Hills. Right. And then I'm over in the Hazlitt location at Fitness Fight Factory. So you want to come train with me over in the evenings, come on, swing up there. We're a little bit north of Fort Worth.
That's awesome, man. Evan, really appreciate your time. In all reality, this is the longest we've ever talked. I loved every second of this. So,
hey, man, I appreciate it.
I appreciate coming over, sir. Man. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a blessed day.
Everyone watching, thanks. Appreciate it. Catch us next episode, Fueled by Spite.